Hello students, in this video we are going to study the self-controlled synchronous motor drive employing load commutated thyristor inverter. It is a topic of the 6th module. First we can just study what are the different terms used in this particular topic. What is the self-controlled synchronous motor? I had already discussed two types of variable frequency control. First one was the true synchronous mode and second one was the self-controlled mode. In the self-controlled mode, we are changing the rotor speed and the rotating magnetic field speed is made same as that of the rotor speed. Whereas in true synchronous control, the frequency of the stator is varied such that the rotor will gain the speed of the rotating magnetic field. So the self-controlled mode is actually the opposite of the true synchronous control. In the self-controlled mode, the rotating magnetic field is made to rotate at a speed same as that of the rotor speed. Now, what is a load commutated thyristor inverter? Load commutation means that in this particular converter, the thyristor is turned off using the particular parameters of the load. And in our case, the load is the synchronous machine. Now, if you are looking at this particular circuit, this is our particular load commutated thyristor inverter. We have placed two converters over here. One is a source side converter and other is a load side converter. Now, you can see over here that the source side converter, you can operate it as a rectifier and inverter. Similarly, the load side converter can also be operated as an inverter or rectifier. Now, you have to note that if one of the converters is acting as a rectifier, the other converter should act as an inverter. So, if you are looking at the first case, if source side converter is acting as a rectifier, the load side converter should act as an inverter. Now, for the converter to operate as a rectifier, the firing angle should be between 0 and 90, and for a particular converter to act as an inverter, the converter firing angle should be between 90 and 180 degree. Now, suppose I am taking the first case, the source side converter is acting as a rectifier and the load side converter is acting as an inverter. You can just take that particular case. Here the source side is acting as a rectifier and load side is acting as an inverter. So in that case, you have the three-phase supply. The three-phase supply is being converted to DC by the source side converter and then it is being converted into AC by using the load side converter and it is given to the synchronous machine. Now, what is the need for doing two conversions? That is, first from AC to DC and then again from DC to AC. What is the need for two converters? Now, our typical AC supply, typical three-phase AC supply is having a constant frequency. In order to change the speed of the synchronous machine, you need to vary the frequency because the poles are already fixed in a particular machine. You know the relationship for Ns equal to 120 F by P. The poles are constant. So, if you want to vary the frequency, you need to find out certain techniques. And one method is to convert the AC supply into DC and then again the DC is converted to AC by using an inverter, and in this particular case by changing the firing angles of the inverter, the time period can be changed and hence the frequency of the output can be changed, correspondingly changing the frequency of the or the speed of the particular machine. I hope this portion is clear. Now, what do you mean? How is load commutation taking place in this particular converter? Now, in most of the cases, the power flow, if you are taking the case of a motoring operation, I already mentioned this will be acting as a rectifier, and here in the second converter or load side converter, inversion is taking place. In this particular case, the voltage VDL will be greater than the back EMF or terminal voltage of the synchronous machine, and therefore the current will be flowing from the left to the right direction. Now, if you want to turn off the thyristor, you can just vary the voltage of this particular VDL. VDL can be varied by varying the voltage of the source side converter. By varying the voltage of the source side converter, VDL can be reduced, and when VDL is reduced, automatically the terminal voltage will be comparatively higher compared to VDL. And if this side potential is greater than VDL, automatically the current flow from left to right will be stopped, and therefore the current of the thyristor will be lower than the holding current, leading to turn off of the thyristor. The main advantage of using this load commutated inverter is you do not have to provide any external commutation circuits. Providing external commutation circuits will reduce the power level. If you are using external commutation circuits, it will reduce the power level of the particular machine, and also it increases the size of the machine. And by using this particular converter, the other advantage is that you can operate it at higher frequency ranges. So these are the main advantages. And one point to be noted is how can you carry out the self-controlled synchronous motor drive operation. Self-controlled synchronous motor drive operation. In order to carry out the self-controlled synchronous motor drive operation, we need to sense the back EMF of the particular synchronous machine. Now, in order to carry out proper triggering of the load side converter, we need to have information of the back EMF. That means we need to know the position of the rotor at 6 intervals. The position of the rotor at 6 intervals should be known in order to generate the firing pulses for the thyristors. This can be obtained by using 3 Hall sensors. 3 Hall sensors will give us 6 rotor positions, and correspondingly the thyristors can be triggered. All of these points have been discussed right now. And finally, you have a block diagram over here. In this particular block diagram, you can see the source side and load side converter over here. You have the source side and load side converter and our machine over here, and we are going to give a feedback. So we have sensed the speed has been sensed, and also we are sensing the terminal voltage. Correspondingly, the back EMF can be calculated, and you can provide the firing angles for the load side converter. A phase delay is provided so that the commutation angle can be controlled and it can be maintained constant. Okay. Then also the voltage is varied. The input voltage to the motor is varied by using the source side converter. So the source side converter also you have to provide a closed loop control in order to provide the triggering pulses. We are providing a inner current loop and a outer speed loop to provide the firing pulses for the source side converter. So the source side converter, we are using a typical closed loop current control, closed loop current limit control, where you have an inner current loop and outer speed loop, and the load side converter firing angles are generated by sensing the back EMF of the particular synchronous motor. I hope all of you have understood this topic. The next video will be uploaded soon. Thank you. Study well.